3 months since the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and hasn't gone as Putin planned, has it? Right now, facing rages in the Donbass region, and there's talk of military assistance from the West to escort Ukrainian grain ships through the Black Sea blockade. We can talk to the journalist Antonia Cundy, who's in Kharkiv in Ukraine. Hello to you, Antonia.
Hi there.
Can you tell us, if you would, welcome to the show, what is the latest on the ground there when it comes to the fighting?
So here where I am in Kharkiv, recently Ukrainian forces pushed the Russians back far enough to sort of relieve the centre of the city from this very, very intense shelling that had previously been subjected to. But it's not yet kind of completely safe here. You still do get strikes every day, and the Russians are sort of now digging in a bit further away and are proving a bit harder to shift.
Yes.
So that's sort of one kind of front line up at the north, and then in the east you have this fierce battle in the Donbass, but it's sort of fierce depending on where you are. So around Severodonetsk and Izium, which are these sort of two key critical cities that Russia wants to try and take. They've already taken Izium, but they're trying to come further down. There's a very intense battle going on there, and Russia do seem to be making some gains there.
So to what extent, Antonio, is the Ukrainian military managing to sort of stem the advance of the Russian forces and drive them back, as we saw in other parts of Ukraine, especially around Kyiv and so on? And to what extent is the Russian advance inexorable? Is it just advancing, though much more slowly?
Yeah, I think it's possibly more, I wouldn't say if it's inexorable, but it is definitely advancing, but just much, much more slowly than expected. And then in areas like, for example, around Kharkiv, you do have this kind of cautious optimism that they are being pushed back, but definitely along the eastern front, it's not that Ukrainians are really regaining territory in a significant way. You often between one village, it might be fought by them one day and then retaken the next. So it's quite dynamic there. But Russia is definitely slowly making some ground.
Just briefly, a sort of strategic thought. William Hague, the former British Foreign Secretary, he's written a piece in the Times today. He's predicting or forecasting this possibility that Russia could carry on advancing, seize more of the Donbass, and when they've seized enough, then offer a ceasefire, principally in the hope of splitting NATO and the West. Is that a worry there among Ukrainian leaders, among Ukrainians?
I think it's a worry, but from my conversations with Ukrainians and from what Zelensky has said publicly, I would be very surprised if they accept those terms.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly your everyday, citizens, many of them say, they would support Zelensky doing what he does. They're grateful with him, and they understand it's a very difficult decision.
But the object on Russia's part would be to split the alliance, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly. And I can't see kind of Zelensky accepting that, or really just on a sort of more ideological level wanting to give any sort of concession to Russia, whether it's territorial or in terms of NATO alliances.
Yeah, meanwhile, carrying on a very stiff fight. Antonia Cundy reporting there from Kharkiv. Thank you so much.